Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier, Mike's Instant Movie Review, Cult Killer. What do I think? Antonio Banderas, when the movie started, very beautiful woman, I was like, is that Elizabeth Shue? Who is this? It's Alice Eve. I'm going to have to dim the lights, folks. Alice Eve, who I've seen in stuff, but couldn't really figure out who the hell it was for a while. Very gorgeous woman. Is basically the star of this thing. Another very attractive woman, Henink was her last name, like Henink, Kurt Henink. Not related, I don't think. So this movie, should you see it, should you not? I'm not sure. I don't think it's a must-see. I think it's a could-see if you want to see it. If you go see it because you're excited, if you like Alice Eve or if you like Banderas, then yeah, go see it. But I don't think it's a must-see. I think it's like a 3-star deal. And it kind of had a feeling of like a late 1980s straight-to-video movie that you would kind of discover and say, oh, gee whiz, this could have been in the theaters. Like, it felt like a movie that you shouldn't be seeing in the movie theater, but you feel like it could be in the movie theater. If that makes any sense. Hold on. Oh, God. So what's this movie about? Well, I think that's one of the elements of my critique here, my criticism. It feels like the movie is that expression, pardon the phrase, 12 pounds of shit in a 10-pound bag. There's so much stuff going on in this movie, so many elements of tortured souls getting revenge on somebody. I'll be honest, I kind of conked out a couple of times in the movie. I had given blood earlier in the day. My iron levels are off, because I'm saving people's lives with my blood. And I don't know. I might have phased out or missed some important dialogue that explains some important shit. But basically, there's like all these different things. The movie starts, Antonio Banderas is a private investigator. He's serving some guy papers. This guy is basically cheating on his wife with a little office assistant. There's another scenario going on, and this is like an Irish pub. And here's another problem with this movie, at least for me. Of all the accents in the world, when people speak English but with an accent, the Irish accent, for some reason, is very hard for me to decipher. Like, something about it, I don't know if it's me or the Irish accent, but when, maybe it's like these actors using a phony Irish accent. I don't know, but it's always hard for me to decipher some of the words. And Banderas, no offense, great actor, still has the charisma. But sometimes he's a little hard for me to understand. And I think with my low iron, levels tonight, having saved lives just hours earlier, I was not able to decipher some of these human beings talking. And they were speaking English. It's just between the Banderas accent and the fucking Irish accent, I don't know what the fuck's going on. It was just hard for me to fucking comprehend at times, okay? Being honest. But basically, there's this thing where it seems like this woman, Alice Eve, her character basically has a little gimmick where she gets drunk with barfly dudes. Like, she gets drunk with these scum of the earth shitbags in the fucking Irish bar. Then she kind of baits them. Like, she says, whatever you guys do, don't follow me home. I'll hurt you. And, of course, these guys think that she's flirting with them. And I guess their intention, is to bang this lady after they've all drunken together. So they follow her, and then she proceeds to beat the crap out of them with some high-level martial arts. And basically, she gets drunk with these guys. She baits the men to follow her. They think they're going to gangbang her. And then she beats the crap out of them and steals their money or whatever she does. And that is like a character trait. And on this particular evening, Banderas decides to follow this situation and help her, even though she doesn't really need the help. But he helps her, and he beats up these guys, even though she was basically doing the same thing already. And then he gives her a little scolding that she's like a drunk. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on here? And then we're having these flashbacks to a young girl that's the Alice Eve character at a young age. And we're like, what the hell? And then we have another like flash forward, meaning we go ahead of the Banderas thing in the bar with Alice Eve. And we see the Banderas, spoilers by the fucking way, if you didn't figure it out. We see the Banderas character get stabbed in the chest like 8 times by an assailant. And basically Banderas, who we're just kind of meeting now, 5 years later, he's dead. It does say 5 years later. And then the movie proceeds to go basically at least in 3 different time codes, maybe more, because you have like, basically the deal is Banderas is his character is a former, what's it called, Utapel, whatever the fuck, like the European, like the James Bond stuff, like he's a former whatever the fuck, and now he's a private investigator. And somehow he's teaching this beautiful Alice Eve woman, and I guess, call me crazy, but whenever you see Antonio Banderas, you think he's going to bed, i.e. fornicate, i.e. fuck, the beautiful woman. But in this movie, he's like the father figure to her. So it's like, okay, like now he's her daddy, like her emotional support Banderas. Which was a little off-kilter because, he's not a eunuch. It's still fucking Antonio Banderas. So you're kind of like, what's going on? Now he's the daddy figure of this chick? And I guess so. So, anyway. Basically, he trains her to be like his protege. And they have this father-daughter-esque relationship. I guess it's just a sign of the fucking times, folks. I mean, back in the day, Sean Connery was 80 years old and, chasing around Madeline Stowe or fucking whoever the fuck. And now, whatever the fuck, can't have this old guy chasing this young chick. So now he's just the daddy figure. Okay. Thanks. Nice, safe movie. Relationship. Whatever. So, we're proceeding. But basically, he's her mentor in this private eye world, and he's teaching her how to shoot a gun, and he's teaching her how to do the books, and she's all happy because now she has a purpose in life, besides being a hot chick in the bar who beats up potential rapists and so forth. So it's all this convoluted shit, and then we find out, okay, now that Banderas' character is dead, she's getting assigned. She's being brought into like the official police as a special investigator to help find the person who killed Banderas, who turns out to be a woman. And this woman, another attractive actress, this Henning character, her backstory is she was a childhood victim of an Epstein Island type of cult, and hence the title of the film Cult Killer. Her character is a vengeful woman who's now, like 35, 40 years old, who's seeking to avenge the time she had as a little girl being tortured and abused by these sick fucks. And it's basically, as I stated, an Epstein Island type of cult where these sickos abuse these children. And if you saw my review on the Chowchilla documentary, you could see my anger in that regard. So now we have, basically the same topic from the last summer's big hit, The Sound of Freedom. We have sexually abused children. And this one is like by a sicko cult. Now we meet some of these sicko cult members. And the reason why I'm chuckling is like one of the better performances in this movie is by the granny, like sicko granny. Like she's like this, gray-haired lady who's like beating the shit out of people, and she's a fucking torture queen, and she's like a sick, sexualized grandma fuck. I mean, it's quite the character. So, it's one of those villains that's so out there because you don't think of, gray-haired women in their 60s or 70s as being sexual deviants and killing people and beating the snot out of people and abusing children, but here she is. You know, so it's like, what the fuck? So, I mean, you have all these goddamn things going on. Then you have this other kind of fucking characters that I didn't quite get a full grasp of. There's this lawyer that's at the beginning of the movie, and then he kind of represents the cult, I guess. And then you have this woman who's basically, what's that, Maxine Gaswell, like in real life, Maxine Epstein's, woman who supplied him with all these young women illegally. Basically, they have a character that's like her, okay? So, like I said, the movie's just trying to do too goddamn much. Like, either do the Epstein Island or perhaps do the, mentor student private eye stuff. But I guess that's what this movie's doing. But it's like, then you kill Banderas. It's like, there's just too much and the time codes and everything. I get it, Pulp Fiction-esque. Thank you, assholes. But to me, it just felt like this was one too many stories in the movie. Just one too many rigmaroles. You know what I mean? And as I stated, maybe a iron-infested Mike Messier, full of my own blood, could have fully enjoyed this film in all its complexities. However, having saved lives today, I guess I just wasn't up for it. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't think it's the greatest movie in the world. I mean, it's a nice vehicle, meaning star turn for this Alice Eve, but I guess she's been doing pretty well for herself already. Apparently she was in a movie, which I don't think I've ever seen, titled She's Out of Your League. I don't think I ever saw that one. And then she's got all these TV shows that I haven't watched and all these things that have been streaming that I haven't watched. But I've definitely seen her in something. And like, as stated, she did remind me quite favorably of Elizabeth Shue, although of a different age variant. As you might recall, I did have a nice scene with Elizabeth Shue in Hope Springs film. And so, the all-American, it's a go-to, for American people, the big-titted blonde, let's be honest. So, I mean, that's always nice to see. So, this Alice Eve, and then, like, there's a whole dynamic here of this character, this avenging girl character, Hennig's character. I think her name was Jennifer. I don't know what the fuck her name was. But basically, she's the one that kills Banderas. But Banderas is not in the cult. Banderas is a private investigator. So I'm not sure what her motivation was to kill Banderas, his character, not really him, okay? I'm not really sure what her motivation, because he's not one of the bad guys, from all accounts. So did she kill him by mistake? And then we have this whole thing where she knows that because she killed the other lady's hero, that Alice Eve's going to come after her. And so that's a whole big thing. But then they have this thing in common where they've both been abused. Now, I don't think the Alice Eve character was abused on the Epstein Island type of thing, but she was sexually abused anyway. And so now we're all going to go kill everybody. But I don't know why Banderas' character was killed. Maybe that was one of my nap sessions, okay? I was the only person in the goddamn theater tonight, which was nice. I was able to get myself comfortable. I could reflect upon saving people's lives today. I could take off my shoes. I could crack my neck in peace. I mean, it was fine. I did find myself thinking, did I really need to come to the movies tonight? But here's one of the things. When you have these subscription passes like I do, which is really nice, it's well worth getting, because you do get so much entertainment value for your hard-earned dollar. But with this AMC subscription, you basically have to see, you don't have to, but you have the option of seeing up to 3 movies a week. But if you're like me, you want to maximize everything. Okay, well, I paid for this subscription, $24 a month, $25 a month. I want to see my 3 movies a week. So that, I mean, a normal human being would say, well, if you see 2 movies a month, it pays for itself. I want to see 3 movies a goddamn week. So, and I get upset with myself if I don't maximize my subscription plan. So I kind of force myself to see movies. Sometimes I want to see them, sometimes I don't. I had other options for this evening, and I kind of made the choice. I made a choice, okay? Actors make choices. My choices have voices, nice ones too. And I said, I am going to go see this fucking film. So I did. But once I got there, I was kind of tired. So you can never win in this world. You try to do one thing, you do something else, and then you're always double fucking yourself. Like, should I have done the other thing, or was this good that I did this thing? You never know. You know what I mean? So that's it, folks. This is one Mike Messier. I definitely need you people who are watching me on Facebook, and Twitter, or whatever the fuck, X, LinkedIn. Hop on over, push the goddamn button, do your fucking part for a change, and subscribe to the actual YouTube channel. Also, if you don't mind, One Artist Mike Messier, that's one of my other channels. This is my wonderful art that I created today in a art session. One session, created this wonderful piece of art. Maybe I'll put this gentleman on eBay. And furthermore, One Man and a Camera Films is my stuff, my films and so forth. And One Pro Wrestling and Sports Fan YouTube channel. Some flying asshole had some very disrespectful comments on my Arn Anderson video recently, which I did not goddamn appreciate. But when you're a celebrity, when you're in the public eye, you have to put up with the meandering twits out there with their low intelligence, their poor grammar. They don't know how to spell your, with where should it have a apostrophe or not. So, always dealing with the plebeians. But I do my best to get through it. That's it, folks. Mike Messier. Buy all my books. Subscribe to all my channels. Do everything I say. Good night.